That is domination. All right, we're good. We're good to go. All right, so today is the Monday message. Here's what I want to share with you today. I'm going to share something that will make your life less frustrating. I'm going to share something that will help you move quicker. I'm going to share something that will help you be happier. I'm telling you, what I'm going to share today had a big impact on me the first time I started learning about it. And the more I apply it, the happier I am and the faster I move. And you know, speed, right? Speed is what builds business. Speed is what takes impact. The reason most people don't make an impact is they got no speed. They got no speed. They're super slow. One of the things I'm going to talk about on the TWC, because I'm hosting the TWC, which, by the way, I need some of y'all will be getting texts from me today about being guests on the TWC. I meant to do that earlier. It's been crazy. I'm going to get to you. I'm hosting the TWC this Wednesday. I'm going to talk about high speed, low drag. This is one of the things that if you just buy in, you will be high speed, because this thing I'm talking about is what mires people down. Here's what gets people mired down: problems, obstacles, and difficulties. It gets them mired down. Now, problems all have a level. Some problems are a 1, meaning not a big problem, meaning you were out of milk this morning, but you had your coffee anyways, and you're here and you're productive. We made it through. We made it through. We made it through the milk crisis that we had this morning. We got through it. It was a 1. Does it make sense? Not a big problem. Minor irritation. Some problems are a 10. I got one of my buddies that I'm just pulling for. He's facing a 10 problem right now. Some problems are serious. They're so serious they're a 10. So we think about it like this: problems are all ranked. And you could say problems, obstacles, difficulties, they're all ranked 1 to 10. And so you think about this: you're going to have a flow of problems in your life. That's one of the things that gets people frustrated. They're like, I just don't want any more problems. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to tell you. If we had the ability to forever eradicate problems, we'd have done it by now. Oh, you're going to face problems. I'm going to face problems. Me and you might even have a problem that we don't know about yet, because it's happening right now, and we're going to find out about it later in the day. You know what I'm saying? Problems, you can't stop problems. Problems are going to keep flowing at you. Like I said, some problems are small. You might have a 1 problem. You move through it, no problem. Then maybe you get a 4 problem. That's a little more difficult. A little more difficult than the milk situation, but you push through it. You figured it out. You got some help. You made it through. And now you got a 6 problem coming at you. There may be a 2 problem coming at you. Then there may be a 3 problem, maybe an 8 problem in the future. Here's the way I operate. I know there's 10 problems coming my way. I know there's 10 problems coming my way. I'm not in denial about that. I have had some crazy problems in my life. Some crazy problems. Problems where you're just like, you don't sleep good for a little while. Problems where you just rips your heart out. You've had those too. So here's the way I operate. I operate in reality. I know more are coming, so I'm not trying to stop this. I know I'm going to do everything I can to do things the right way, and that does eliminate some problems, but I cannot entirely eliminate problems. There are going to be problems coming. So what do I work on? Here's what we work on. Our ability to think, also 1 to 10. Meaning some people are 1 thinkers. Hey, Nick, God help them, these 1 thinkers. They lose their mind over everything. The milk situation. They're in a bad mood the rest of the day. Their coworkers hate being around them because they ran out of milk today. That 1 thing throws their whole day off. God help if that happened, and then somebody cut them off in traffic. And that was like a 1.3 problem. They had 2 massive issues today already. And they're just, right? We all know people like that. We've seen that. That's not you and me. Me and you are trying to be leaders. Hey, there are people that are 4 thinkers, meaning they handled that problem. This one really, really was tough. This one totally messed them up. They may never recover from that problem because they were only a 4 thinker. Who can solve all problems? Who can move through them successfully? Because again, we can't stop them. The key is, how do we move through them more successfully? The key is to be a 10 thinker. The key is to grow the level at which we think, because we can't stop the flow of the problems. They're going to keep on coming. We won't be able to stop it. And so all we can do is continue to work through them. Continue to find ways to think through them. And so what I want to share with you today is going to be 8 things that help us grow this. That'll help me and you continue to drive this number up. So that way, when the bigger problems come, they'll be tough, but we'll get through it successfully. They'll be tough, but we won't let it completely ruin a relationship. We won't completely let it ruin things for us. Because by the way, think about relationships too. Remember I said this would help you in your whole life? If you think about this, relationships face problems. Relationships going to face problems. Some of them are in-law centric. They just create an issue, right? Some of them may be health centric. Some of them may be just difficulties that come our way centric. Relationships that don't get mired down are relationships with high-level thinkers. Does that make sense? When you look at a relationship and you go, they just don't seem to have any problems. It's just you don't know about the problems. You don't know about the problems because they don't get mired down in the problems because you got 2 people committed to becoming higher-level thinkers. So when problems come their way, they move through it successfully. They don't get mired down and have to advertise and tell the whole world about everything they're going through. But by the way, when you get those overshares, that's people that struggle here. But me and you, we are going to grow this. So the 8 things I'm going to talk about today will help you grow that. All right, number 1, most important, is personal growth. The crazy thing about most folks is they have a plan for the unimportant. They got a plan to make sure they don't miss any of their shows. They got a plan to make sure that they're not a season behind everybody else. They got a plan to fuel their vices. They got a plan for the unimportant, but they don't have a plan for the important. They don't have a plan for personal growth. What's the plan? Well, what's the plan for growth as a person? If we don't have a plan, then that means we're not growing here. That means we're stuck, which means what are the symptoms of being stuck? Frustration, aggravation, irritation, complaining, blaming, justifying. Those are just symptoms of being stuck here. So if we ever feel those symptoms, it's a key indicator that we maybe we had a plan and then we let up off of it, right? Like a good diet and exercise plan. Working so good, we quit doing it, right? We've all done that before. Hey, so if we're feeling frustrated, what's our plan? Do we have a current plan? What does it include? What ways are you trying to grow? What specific areas are you trying to grow in? And then have a plan for it. People have a plan. They got a plan. I've got buddies, they got a plan for every tailgate party for next year's college football season. They got a plan to make sure they don't ever miss an episode on Saturday morning of college football kickoff or whatever it's called. They got a plan for that already in May, but they don't have a plan for personal growth. We got to have a plan. Me and you and I, we're leaders. We got a plan for personal growth because that's how we're going to drive this number up, and that's how we're going to move successfully through problems. Hey, by the way, if you don't have a personal growth plan and you're part of a couple and you don't have a plan for how you will grow as a couple, you're going to run into trouble here. You're going to run into trouble here. All right. Number 2, this is vital. In order to grow the level that you're thinking at, we need regular, progressive coaching. Regular, progressive coaching. Because that is how we're going to grow this level of thinking. If we're still having to seek coaching on 4 problems, then that means we haven't been seeking enough coaching. Does that make sense? It's got to be regular, progressive coaching. And I'm going to throw another key word in there: proactive, regular, progressive coaching. I can't wait and just go, someday I need Brian Adams to reach out to me and coach me on how to grow the partnership, how to grow the stock. I need Brian Adams to reach out and coach. I can't do that. I've got to go where the coaching is. I've got to be proactive in seeking it and trying to create opportunities for it. The same thing with the coaching that I get from Andy. I've got to be progressive. I've got to reach out for that coaching. I've got to go for it regularly, or I'm going to get stuck here. I'm not going to continue to grow my level to solve problems. Because here's the key fact. At the end of the day, you and I are as good as we are right now because of the information we have. The only way to get better is to get new information. We're as good as it's going to get unless we get new information. Unless we get, receive, and accept new information. We're as good as what's this? As good as it's going to get. We have reached the pinnacle. You and I currently stand here today at the pinnacle of all we'll achieve, unless we get some more information and accept it and act on it. That's where regular, proactive, progressive coaching is so important. It's so important. And those of you that have coached people, you know when you feel like you're just throwing information into a black hole and it's just getting absorbed and gone. And you know when you're coaching someone and they're acting on it because you see the growth. So that's someone getting progressive coaching. All right. Number 2, very, very important. Number 3, we're going to have to dig up a little history. And only you and I can do this. Only you and I can do this because those people that think they're perfect, they haven't had any of these to work with. So they only got 7 steps. The people that are already perfect, they only got 7 steps. You and me, we got 8 steps to work on today. Because the people that are already perfect, they haven't made any of these, so they don't have anything to analyze. So unfortunately for people that are already perfect, did this part, just tune out. This is for those of us that have made some messes in our lives. Analyze past blunders. We don't want to live in it, but what we want to do is mine the gold in those blunders. Every blunder you've made, every blunder I've made has gold in it. That gold is called the lesson. The reason people struggle to grow this and don't grow this number throughout their life is they run from their problems, they run from their blunders, they deny, they justify, they project, they do all because they never, and so they never mind that gold. They never get the gold out of those blunders. So here's what we've got to put aside. We've got to put aside denial, projection. Like we got to put all aside and go, I made this blunder. Why did I make this blunder? And the goal is not to beat ourselves up. The goal is to go, what types of situations make me, or what, oh, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. What types of situations, everybody at the office here knows I'm like the language police. What types of situations in the past caused me to make bad decisions? What types of situations in the past have I handled poorly? Is it when I feel triggered by my younger sibling, when I feel triggered by someone that feels like they're better than me, I just get triggered and now I need to be on the lookout. Does that make sense? We're mining that gold. When I'm blamed for, we're mining the gold. We're not repeating, not rehashing, not to repeat up. We just need to mine that gold so we take away the lessons. Here's the refreshing news. When you look at, let's say you take your past 20 blunders, last 20 times you really just screwed it up. And if you're anything like me, it won't take long. We'll figure them out. We'll have a list done by the end of the call. So we look at those 20 things. Here's the refreshing thing that'll come to you from that. You're not bad at a lot. You and I are just bad at 2 or 3 types of situations. It's just that they keep coming at us. So it feels like I screw up a lot. But no. You and I, we only screw up 2, 3, maybe 4 types of situations. It's just repeated in our history. That's why we've got to mine that gold from our past blunders. What situations in the past have caused us to make bad decisions? How do I fix that? But by the way, if you want to see a relationship that's headed for a split, it's a relationship where the same blunders continue to happen, they continue to be handled poorly, and nobody makes change. One of my buddies was asking me about a couple that I was coaching, and I was very frank with him. I said, well, they're getting divorced. He's like, oh my God, I didn't know it was that bad. I was like, oh, no, not now. Not now. But that's where it's headed. Unless they make changes. That's where it's headed. She triggers him, he triggers her. They're in this pattern of triggering each other. And this pattern, that's where that path leads. They've got to readjust to get off that path and get on a different path. I didn't mean to freak him out. I just, because I said it in the current context. And he was like, oh no, it's not bad. No, wait, that's where it's headed. They don't make a change. Same here. We got to analyze the blunders so that in the future, when those situations come our way, we just handle them better. So when this one comes at us again, this particular flavor of difficulty that triggers us, we got a plan. We got a plan for how to handle it. No different than the little plans you and I come up with to handle objections in a sale or objections in a recruiting situation. We got a plan to handle those. Why? Because we've seen it before and we know what works now. It got us the first few times. We missed that sale, we missed that recruit, but then we figured it out. Now we had a plan. Now it doesn't get us. Now, in fact, when you feel that, you see that coming, you see that objection coming, you're like, oh, I know where they're going. I know where they're going. I know where they're going. And boom, I'm already there. Got it. That's where you'll get with problems in your life. You'll be like, oh, they're about to trigger the old me. I got a plan this time. Can you see how that there's gold in those blunders we've made? We just got to mine that gold. All right, we got to get going. So I've got a bunch of stuff to get done today. Number 4, we need to switch the lens. Here's what we switch the lens. We switch the lens from what am I going to do to what do I need to do? Right? We switch from what am I going to do to all right, what do I need to do? Can you see the difference in posture? By the way, when you and I look at the world outside of our little enclave of leadership, what do we see? What are most people? Most people, you and I, we go, all right, what do we need to do? I remember a situation came up, and Robbie Kraft called me and he said, look, I'm about to tell you a situation, and we're gonna be good and mad for about 5 minutes, but then we're gonna come up with a plan to fix it. So you see, that's how leaders think. That's how leaders think. He brought it up and I was like, oh, all right, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? It's a simple switch in lens or stance, you could say, in how you face problems. All right, number 5. Bolster your confidence. That's part of what makes some of these problems hit us harder than others, is we don't have the confidence to get through that one. We don't have the confidence to go, this too shall pass. I will defeat you as well. I got a whole closet full of problems I done beat the snot out of, and you are next. We lack that confidence. Now we'll face this or this because okay, I handle that. But then we get here and we don't have enough confidence to move through that, to go from what are we gonna do to what do we need to do? Now, how do you bolster confidence? I'm gonna give you 4 quick things. I did a call on this not all that long ago. How to bolster confidence? 1, victory log. Make you a victory log. Think through past victories. Think through some of these that you just smashed it, killed it. It was tough. I didn't know how to handle it at the time, but I got some coaching and I was brave and I fixed it. Boom. Put it in a victory log. Victory log. Those of you that haven't seen me talk about victory log, text me. I'll send you some stuff on a victory log. Jack Canfield talks about it. It's just you think through the victories in your life and you write them down, watch the feeling inside of you change. Another thing with confidence, positive affirmations. That stuff that low performers make fun of, that's the stuff that works. Low performers make fun of it because they're uncomfortable, and that's what low performers do. When they see something they're not comfortable with, they either pick fun or find fault. That's what low performers do. They make fun of it or they find fault with it if they're uncomfortable with it. They're uncomfortable with affirmations. You and I aren't. And so maybe if we haven't been using them recently, maybe we put that tool down, we forgot about that tool, we pick it back up, and we give ourselves positive affirmations every day. And the third big one I'll give you, and there's so much more on this topic, which, by the way, any of the topics that I go over and you're like, man, I would love more depth on that, let me know, or pop it in the chat. The guys will see it here in the studio. I promise you, if you saw all the journals I've got, how destroyed all my books are from notes and stickers and stuff. I'm just telling you, I would love to give you more content on something. If I hit on something like, God, because here's the deal. If it help you, it'll help other people. It's like that first person to ask a question. If there's 100 people in the room, the first person that finally asks the question, they just relieve the burden of about 62 people in that room that had the same question but were too chicken to ask it. So throw it out there. I'd love to help you, or text me. However you get the information to me, let me know. That's just 3 quick things I'll give you on confidence, because that's all we got time for today. Number 6, get around high level solvers. Get around high level solvers. Why do you think I like being around people like Andy, like people like Brian Adams? Think about the problems that Brian Adams has solved. You don't build, it's not like Brian's stumbled into the multi-billion-dollar company that he's built. It's not like it was like he applied for the job of CEO and they gave it to him. He built that. Just think about the gold that guy's got in solving problems. If Brian Adams is going to be somewhere, I'm going to be that somewhere. If Andy's going to be somewhere, I'm going to be that somewhere. I love watching high-level problem solvers solve problems. I love it. I love it. It's like if you're into golf, it's like watching a great golf swing. You can watch it all day. Like, God, believe this beautiful. Same deal with problem solvers. If there's an opportunity for me to be around a high-level problem solver, I'm going to be there. Being around John Maxwell, seeing him solve problems, I've got some really cool stuff that I've seen. I'm telling you, do whatever it takes to get around high-level problem solvers. Number 7, leave assumptions and limitations behind. Here's the problem. We think some stuff that's not true. People say, it's what you don't know that'll hurt you. And there's some truth in that. But what does far more lasting harm is what you think to be so, but is not. What you think to be so that is not. That does you and I way more lasting harm. We think that there are certain fixed things that we just can never get around. We come to accept them as limitations. I got a buddy like that. Somebody gets anywhere close to him in traffic, he's going to lose his mind. Here's what he says. That person ticked me off. That person made me do that person made me. I'm like, did that person put their hand in you and operate your mouth like a puppet? Because that would be the only way that person made you behave that way. So, but that's my buddy. He thinks that's his limitation. Like he thinks that's just him. That's just how he is. I'm just angry. I'm just passionate or whatever you want to rebrand it. We've accepted some things that aren't so, that cause us to get to a problem and go, wow. So we've got to let those go. We spent a little time in history here. We're going to leave the history behind here. Here's the question. If nothing that I've come to accept were true, what outcome would I want from this situation? If nothing I've come to accept was true, what outcome would I want from this situation? That's a better starting point. All right, number 8. When we see a problem of ruin, when we see it coming our way in the flow, we embrace it and we do not dodge it. We embrace it. It's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to go, hey, guess what? I'm a work in progress. And I was just presented with an opportunity. That's how we embrace it. We don't dodge it. Low performers, they're hiding from problems. That's why a low performer, you can't get a low performer to leave their house or their little cocoon because they know there's all these problems out there that they've been dodging. There's all these uncomfortable conversations they've been dodging. Yeah, you see a marriage that's stewing. That's because I don't want to have that conversation. We have these unwritten rules. I don't talk about her spending. She doesn't talk about my weight. I'll say it like we don't dodge. We embrace. Because some of these may be conversations that need to happen. Some of these are going to be things that surprise you. Don't hide from it. Don't dodge it. Embrace it. It's an opportunity to grow. And so then what do? We look at how we've been growing as a person. We go get some coaching on this problem. We look at our things we've learned about ourselves in the past. We switch our lens to, all right, what do I need to do? I don't like this. Hey, it doesn't make you like problems, I promise you. It's not like I wake up and I go, I love problems. No, I hate problems like you. I hate difficulty like you. I want everything to be easy all the time. I want my way all the time, every time. I'm just like you. We're the same. That's why we got to embrace it, not dodge it and attack it. I'm telling you, it's a huge opportunity for growth. Guys, if you apply this stuff, I know it will help you. It has helped me tremendously in my life. It has helped people I love tremendously in their life. And I know it'll help you too. And for those of us like you and me that we've already been working on this, let's double down. Let's double down. Let's double down in these areas so that we can help lead through problems, lead through difficulty, lead through change. Guys, Holly and I love you. We want you to win more than you can possibly understand. I cannot wait to see some of you in Cancun. I can't wait to see all of you in Reno. Guys, we have a big opportunity in front of us in May and June.